Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Uptrade Alpha. Today, Kane and I have a really short, sharp, but insightful video on meme coins and the state of the sector which they are currently in.
Yeah, really exciting one because I think a lot of people want to know what's happening in the meme coin sector. It's been one that's had a bit of trouble in the recent months. It's been down more than most sectors in general. So, people want to know what's driving that and what's behind it, if there's a future for it as well. So, keen to dive into it.
Correct. It was the most popular sector last year. A lot of clients do have a portion of the portfolio in meme coins. So let's dive in.
Yeah, definitely.
So today we're going to be going through the reason behind the current dip. We also have, is there any opportunities out there, or is it a good riddance for majority of altcoins? And then when we get past that, we'll be looking at upcoming catalysts for 2025 for meme coins, and then how meme coins, if they can, fit into different investment strategies.
Yeah, excited to deep dive into this.
So am I. So like we touched on, they've had a really poor performance the past month, maybe even past 2 months, and we looked into the data and we saw the majority of the top meme coins on average are down 46% for the month. Yeah,
and it's not a very good thing to see, especially if you've got a decent portion of your portfolio in meme coins. These are some of the biggest in the field, so like multi-billion-dollar meme coin assets that are dropping, as you said, on average 46%. We've seen even the broader market down 90%, some of these meme coins as well. So, when you look at it that way, it does look a bit grim, but we do see retracements across all sectors as well. So,
yeah, I think it was in December we did realize a shift in liquidity from outside of meme coins because it came a little bit frothy and back into utility-based coins or even just Bitcoin itself into sound investments. And we saw that happening, but I don't think many people would think that would go down 90% within the month, a few of these meme coins.
Yeah, I think it caught a lot of people off guard. You made a good point. We did mention that shift towards utility and also AI agents taking a bit, more liquidity off market. It kind of became a situation where there was a lot of different news pieces that came out, like Trump's meme coin, and then, as I said, the AI agents, all these things started to come up. Liquidity was just getting drawn in different ways, and obviously for a sector like meme coins, they don't actually, it's probably the hardest one to hold liquidity because a lot of the holders are pretty choppy when they come to trading. They're looking to trade in and out of those positions, and they're not very long term for them. So we did see a lot of liquidity get swept from meme coins from those two events.
Yep, I did. And now let's touch on our current views today on meme coins. I know we've touched on, we definitely view utility coins, especially strong layer one, strong real world assets, as a primary investment in a portfolio, such as whether that's SUI, Hype, or Ondo. But I do still think there is a place for the top tier meme coins.
Yeah, and I agree. I think, if we're looking at our view on meme coins being part of the crypto sector or industry in general, there's a few core reasons why we saw them take off in 2024, early last year. And a lot of it was around the fair distribution of tokens, being a fair launched project. We also saw a lot of people try to shy away from the VC-backed tokens that, led in 2021.
Of course.
And those are the ones that, ended up dumping on the retail in 2022 and late 2021 at peak cycles because they had really early entries in these and the retail were the ones left buying up these bags. So I think, there was a strong shift to that. And there's obviously a few other ones around maybe the gambling point or like the volatility as well. A lot of people are attracted to that as well. Maybe you could touch on that.
Yep, on the gambling point, you could divide the meme coin sector into two different sides. There is the ones where people invest in the meme coins to get behind the community, get behind the vision. And then there's the other side where people are just on pump fun or looking at charts all day, refreshing to see when a new meme coin launches, chuck a couple so on there, gamble on it, and hopefully it goes up. Hopefully it doesn't. No matter what, they'll probably be out within 2 hours of the investment.
Yeah.
Where there's the other meme coins where people are looking to actually hold on to it for a few months and really get themselves immersed in that type of community. What's going on?
Yeah, and as you said, like there are a few core memes that I think, you know, hold a high standard when it comes to community and vision. Readily accepted as well. So a few of them I would point out would be like the likes of Pepe on ETH chain. Doge and SHIB have shown strength despite not being the best performers in 2024. Also, I'm still pretty strongly bullish on Popcat. And then you've got Bonk with, there's a few that are, still show a lot of strength, multi-million-dollar assets and from a valuation perspective. And I think those are still showing a lot of like strength when it comes to what core value propositions meme coins originally had. So it is interesting. There is definitely that gambling side to the meme coins, and as you said, the ones that are going to be investing in these new launches, that 99.9% of them end up dumping and going to zero. That's where the gambling mindset comes in, and that's kind of what we shy away from. We don't want to be, facilitating or supporting that stuff, because that's actually a way it's something that's tarnishing our meme reputation or like the community and the crypto industry in general. So we don't want that to tarnish the meme coin sector, but it does tend to leave a bad taste in a lot of investors' mouth when chasing those.
100%. Yeah, I was pretty keen to touch on this. So outside of those top tier meme coins, we have the scammers, the grifters, and what we've currently seen in the market. We've seen coins from Hawk2 Girl. We've seen coins from the Argentinian president, which was a complete scam, stealing $100 million worth of investors' money.
Yeah.
Full of insider knowledge, insider token allocation. We've seen Dave Portnoy and his coin. Like I said, it's really, really bad for the meme coin and the whole crypto industry as a whole. Yeah. Because they're just scams at the end of the day. And I don't think the top tier meme coins currently can prosper without these coins getting filtered out and without us moving on from these scam coins. It's really bringing us back.
Yeah, and I think a really important point to touch on is that a lot of retail investors, like ourselves or like our friends and family, especially like my friends our age, the most attractive industry within crypto is meme coins. It's one that a lot of people understand. It's one that a lot of people hear about. They don't really care about the fundamentals or the utility behind a blockchain.
That's why they feel so a part of it as well, because they just have to understand the community. And they're like, I understand this token, I feel belong, where you go to any utility-based project and you've got to take a bit of time to understand behind it. But these guys can log on day one and be, I'm part of this meme coin. Yeah,
exactly. And if memes are going to be that funnel for a lot of investors, especially investors our age, I think that, these projects that are tarnishing and ending up like resulting in a lot of these investors losing all their money is just going to scare them from coming back to the industry or actually exploring what crypto actually is, what value it actually brings to the current system. Definitely. So, it is very interesting. But maybe, we should move on, look at a few more catalysts coming up for 2025 and some potential, add-ons, value add-ons.
Yeah, of course. I think the big one coming up is Doge. Grayscale filed for an ETF. And the SEC actually acknowledged it. And so Doge is currently a top 10 coin. It's a leading meme coin. It's been a multi-cycle meme coin. And it has I think it's around a 70 to 75% chance of getting listed as an ETF.
Yeah, and that would be pretty big for the meme coin sector in general. Obviously, it's had the support of the likes of Elon Musk, and now the government has their own Doge department. Department of Government Efficiency.
Correct.
So there is a lot of support around that, and it is the king of memes. And I don't think it's, I do think that a meme coin like Doge is going to continue to, show strength and be part of the broader industry. So, yeah, that is a very big bullish catalyst coming up.
Correct. I think a major headline or major catalyst for Doge outside the ETF will be the race to 100 billion. So we haven't had a meme cross that mark yet. It got close last cycle, reaching around $70 billion in market cap. And so I think a lot of people will be calling for that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 100 billion this cycle.
Yeah, under the right circumstances and environment, I think definitely it has the potential, especially with an ETF. It just increases, investor inflows for the asset. So, really interesting. As well as we saw Monad, which is probably the biggest influencer when it comes to meme coins. He's also been speaking about multiple meme coins hitting 100 billion. That might not happen, but I think definitely Doge does have the higher potential to do so.
Yeah, and another catalyst we've been looking at is tier one listings, which is the biggest exchanges listing these meme coins. And in the past few weeks, we have seen Coinbase, they list a native meme coin, Toshi. And off the launch, it went up 4x. And they've also just launched Popcat and Pengu. And when they're at their high prices, it's kind of hard for those exchanges to form a treasury, which they need to do in order to sell the token on their exchange. But now these meme coins have come down. They're able to form probably a good amount of treasury. They might have to accumulate 10, 15, 20% of the supply. And a good positive as well is they haven't forgotten about these meme coins. They probably see a future in them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be accumulating down here.
So, yeah, I think there's been a bit of a shift between exchanges and their listing process between a lot of meme coins as well. I think they're looking at more of a risk-adverse approach for a lot of investors. So the criteria that they're meant to meet is going to be probably higher. And that's when Coinbase has actually mentioned that they're going to be a bit more strict when it comes to listings of different assets. So I feel like the really strong ones will perform really well. They'll be readily available for clients on exchanges. And that's going to be one of the biggest success metrics for a meme coin. So being listed is going to be, I feel like it's going to become even more important. One to definitely look out for. I feel like there's going to be a few more to come.
Yeah, just rounding out, they were the 2024 sector leader. Is there a room in everyone's portfolios to 2025? How would you look at it for an investor? And do you think we are at peak capitulation, or could there be further downside? Would you like to elaborate on those?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that, meme coins have been a dominant force in 2024 and, some part of 2025, not too much. But they were such a dominant force in 2024 that kind of solidified them as a sector that a lot of people couldn't ignore. And when you've got something moving at such high pace and something that's showing a lot of potential, I don't think it's the smartest thing to just ignore it. I think that, exposure to anything when it comes from a diversified perspective is important. So, even just putting 2% into a portfolio where you can, just speculate on that sector is completely fine. I don't think that it's one that you should, put a whole portion of your portfolio in, but it's also one that, does deserve some, exposure for speculation purposes. And then, when it comes to 2025, I do think that, as we ramp up, as a bull market, starts to show more strength, Bitcoin, starts to take off a bit, this will become the biggest time to see meme coins make that resurgence. Because as more money enters the market, as more money is made by investors, they're going to be looking to put it in different assets and things that are going to move just as fast, because that's just the mindset of a lot of investors. And I think the fast moving asset's going to be back into meme coin. So I am predicting a bit of a resurgence sometime this year.
Yeah, perfect. So I think to to summarize the whole video.
Yeah, for sure.
The current sentiment right now in the market is not good in the meme coin sector.
No.
It's terrible. But I think as time goes on, I think we'll filter out the crap.
Yeah.
And the cream will rise to the top at some stage. Doesn't mean there could be more downside ahead. And just because a asset went down 90% doesn't mean it can't go down another 90%.
Yeah, exactly. And you make a good point. I think that, it's important to realize that, these assets, especially meme coins, they can be so volatile and we don't know what's going to happen with them. So just because Popcat or the likes of Pepe or different ones are down 50, 60, 70%, it doesn't mean that this is the end. This is not the Pico bottom. We don't know. It really depends on market sentiment and where liquidity is going to start flowing back.
Correct.
So, one to really look out for. One, we're going to be, having our eyes closely on just to make sure we can see, where narrative switches may occur.
Correct. But a lot of the time when it's a peak capitulation right now, the sentiment's very, very low. A lot of times these are the opportunities where people scale in and in the future it looks like a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Where the fear is at the max. It looks like in the future it ends up being a good decision in hindsight.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely.
Yep, and the top coins we see in the meme coin sector, Pepe, Popcat, Doge, potentially with Bonk, all those higher market cap coins, nothing below those marks.
Yeah, I think sticking to the blue chips for now is the most important thing. I'm a bit worried about the other ones just to, because, as...
They're high risk.
Yeah, and things are going to become, like new ones will come out and, things will overtake different things. Trendier memes will arise and that's just the cycle. So, be cautious, but you can feel pretty safe just to have a bet on a blue chip, in my opinion.
Yep. Well, thanks, Ken, and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Awesome.
See you next time.
Thank you.